The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles. And broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your host, Nicole Hutchison.
Cowboys Nation, happy Thursday. Welcome into Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign here in the SWBC studio. I'm Nicole Hutchison alongside Aisha Morrison, Bonnie Jo Laughlin, and Jasmine.
Oh, my God.
I was waiting for you to start at least trying to harmonize like you said you was going to do.
Hey.
Okay, let's do it again. Jasmine.
Hey.
There
we go.
That
was not a y'all are in unison. That's unison.
Close to
That's one
unison.
note.
It's one step at a time.
At least y'all, let's start.
Yeah, it's a
you know,
start.
but you know, it's what I was about to say. Y'all start in unison.
Yeah.
And then break out
There we go.
into
Absolutely.
two-part harmony.
Yes.
It's going to take some time.
That's like the high end of my range, though, so I'm going to have to go lower next
It's
time.
fine. Yeah.
We'll
I'll go a
work on
little
it.
higher.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully the Cowboys.
Oh, Nicole, I like that
lose.
belt. Sorry, that's so off
great.
topic. But
It
I
is.
was like, I like it.
It's very much
It's
so.
dope, isn't it?
I would
here.
totally wear that. So just saying, I'd rock that. I like
Appreciate
it.
y'all. Appreciate y'all. You know, I tried.
Every time I see buckles like that, I want
Yeah,
to do
I like it. It's big, bold.
it. It's because of Martin.
And the Cowboys expect to be bold
Sorry.
this week. No.
pray.
All right, let's go through the injury roll call real quick. They just sent it over. You have,
glad
let
you
me
called
make
it
this
a
a little
roll
bit
call.
bigger. I know, right? Sorry, I just got to go through it real fast. Deron Bland, again, a full participant today.
I like
he
that.
was yesterday. We love that. Brandon Cooks, limited. Trayvon Diggs, limited. Chumadoga, full participant once again. Jake Ferguson, again, is still in concussion protocol. Tyler Guyton, full participant. Eric Kendricks, who was a full participant today, he was limited yesterday's practice. Marshawn Nealon, limited. We do know that their 21-day practice window started yesterday, so that's always a good sign. CeeDee Lamb did not participate in today's practice with a back foot injury. Don't like that. Jordan Lewis, limited. Hunter Lipke, limited today. He did not participate yesterday, so that is still somewhat of a good sign. And then Zach Martin, Tyler Smith, Nick Vigil did not participate in practice today. Any concerns?
I mean, my biggest concern is with CD, obviously.
Yeah.
So one of the things Mike McCarthy pointed out in his press conference today was that yesterday was a walkthrough. Yeah. So it's really good, actually, to see a lot of the guys who were full participants yesterday still full participants today, because I was worried that some of them would backslide now that they're in a more, on a tougher day. But CD not practicing is concerning. I know he's been banged up. He's been dealing with stuff ever since the AC joint sprain, and apparently some stuff after that. And so on one hand, I'm like, okay, well, if they do need to shut him down, like, that may be good for his health. And I do want what's best for him in terms of his health, but I do know that could cause complications for the offense because they do kind of need him to take attention away from some of the other receivers, and him not being there will make a difference. I know he hasn't had the best chemistry with Cooper Rush. Yeah. So it's like, I know factually, like, we shouldn't expect a whole lot in terms of that.
He makes a difference on the field.
He's a playmaker.
But yeah, these defenses, regardless of how those numbers have been looking since Dak has left, they still account for him. So it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. That was a little bit alarming. I'm glad that Jake's okay, though, right? Because I was a little scared about Jake Ferguson.
Well, he's still in concussion. I know he'll be in concussion protocol, but
yeah,
I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah.
I
just get nervous with that. But CeeDee's the only one that's alarming to me. And Kendricks, was that a veteran day off, or is that something that we need to think about?
Wednesday. So this week is a little different. So
I forgot we got
technically,
because of Monday.
Since they play Sunday, it's like a shorter week. So I believe today was like Friday. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So yeah, but yesterday was still a walkthrough.
Yeah.
Okay.
So did they have a veteran rest day this
That's
week?
what I was just wondering. Yeah.
That's a great question.
I think that was yesterday.
So it was.
Guys.
So that's okay. So that's
why
probably
a lot
Kendricks.
of guys was I will say.
Yeah.
Wait, what was Jordan Lewis?
Jordan Lewis was
limited yesterday.
Sorry.
I need
limited.
Here we go. He was limited.
But the most alarming to me is Tyler Smith.
He did not participate both days.
Yeah. Both days. Okay.
That's probably the most alarming because, quite honestly, he is your best offensive lineman right now. With
That
an
was so
offensive
long,
line
I
that's
completely missed that.
yes, I get it. It was I had to sit here and I was
Lengthy.
like,
Yeah.
but yeah, him losing him. To your point about guys, having full practices or limited practices today, even though yesterday was a walkthrough, Hunter Lipke being limited, I think is valuable. You're going up against a Washington defensive line that can get pressure one-on-one, but they also get pressure blitzing, and this is a tough interior on the defense. So I'm mixed stressed if Tyler Smith is not going to be out there. They quite literally drafted Tyler Smith to go up against a Deron Payne and those guys. So him keeping an eye on his injury status moving forward for sure.
Looking at this list again, this whole list is a lot more
It's
alarming.
crazy.
I was
Right.
excited at first to see those people full participants, especially Deron Bland. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's like if the offense doesn't have Tyler Smith
Then it
and
can matter with
Hunter
the defense,
Lipke
yeah.
and CeeDee Lamb, that's crazy. And then honestly, this is one of those games where I really don't like the idea of the defense not having. Oh wait, no, did he? Never mind. No, yeah. Oh, full. Never mind. Eric Kendricks. They gonna be all right.
That's what we were talking about yesterday. Yeah.
It's so
Like I
it's
said,
a
it's a
lot.
long list. You got to double check.
It's so many
Yeah.
people you just But how do you feel about it?
I
Is
mean-
anybody alarming to you?
I'd say honestly, probably. I would say CD Lamb, but you already said CD. So I'm gonna go with. I wouldn't say it's alarming for me with Deron Bland because I don't expect him to play this week. At least I don't want him to play. Like even though he's listed as full, he was listed as full last week too, and some days. I would say I want him to completely get healthy, kind of like move like DeMarcus Lawrence in that instance, and then get ready to play. But I mean, I get it was a walkthrough yesterday. I don't know how much he did in today's practice, even though they have him listed as a full participant. So that also is kind of like you never really know. So,
I definitely want him to take his time as well. Like this
yeah.
Especially
is
with this
I don't want
season,
it.
yeah.
yeah, I definitely think so. What
Yeah.
year is he in?
Deron?
three, because last year was
3.
year 2.
I just
And he was a 5th round pick, which means that's probably coming to an end, no?
It sounds
Rookie
about right
contract, so yeah,
time.
2 more years.
Time-wise. I can look it up.
He has 2 more years?
It'd be 2024, 2025.
Okay.
So
For
I
next year.
believe next year would be
Yeah.
it.
So to
Let's
me,
double
so
check
for
that,
me,
though.
it's just doing what's best for him and his overall health
That's what I
because
think.
Yeah.
he's someone that I do want here long term. You don't want an injury like this. Again, feet are something different from a
You've seen it from Jordan Lewis
deep-
with his toe.
yes.
players have retired because of that.
Yes, receivers have retired because of
DBs,
their
everything.
feet.
Yep, exactly.
And so I just, however they have to handle it, to your point, Nicole, to where he's going to have longevity and build confidence in it, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
If it takes him the whole rest of the season, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
I would like to see a pick, but we all right.
I mean, you like to see the full participant next to his name, but
It's fine.
it kind of concerns me a little bit. But all right, let's go into Washington offense. And I kind of wanted to do like a comparison of Washington and the Cowboys offense because you look at
Sorry. I didn't mean to have that come out.
If you look at the past 2 struggles for Washington, you look at, of course, the Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Washington's offense has averaged 253 yards per game, 9 of 26 on third downs, 8 3-and-outs, and losing the time of possession battles. That's just the last 2 games. And you look at the Cowboys, they've had, this is the last 5 games combined, 6 touchdowns, averaging 291 yards per game, 26.9% on third downs. That's, again, the last 5 games. We don't want to just talk about the last 2 games with the Cowboys because it's been a struggle offensively. But when you look at these 2 teams, what does Washington have that the Cowboys don't have on this team to prepare them for what they're going to see up against Washington?
Everything.
I mean, one of the things that jumps out is
lot.
better QB protection.
Yeah.
That seems to be one of the things that is causing a lot of the disarray on the Cowboys offense. So that and then just, when it comes to football, the most important rule of the game is the team with the most points at the end of the game wins. And they usually do that. For the most part, they've done it more than the Cowboys. So I say
And the
those
running
are two
backs,
big
the running back
differences.
situation. They have a better running game, I think.
I don't know.
Robinson. It's they're 6 in. Let's see, rush yards per game and score the most rushing touchdowns this year.
I would agree in a sense of at least Ekler is.
And Eckler,
You know what Eckler brings to
and
the
he can-
table.
he has
You know
good-
what
he can catch,
Robinson.
too.
You know what Robinson brings to the table. From what we know about the Cowboys running back room,
That's
it's
okay.
Rico Dowdle. So
It doesn't
it's-
take a lot for
and they also do different things with them. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, with
That's
Ekler,
what-
he's in the receiving game.
Yes,
You
that's
have
what I was
that
gonna
part
say.
of his
Yep.
game that he offers. And then Brian Robinson is a guy that has some breakaway speed and can attack on the outside and stuff. So you get more versatility from them from a run standpoint, I guess you would say. And clearly, you know, if you look at Jayden Daniels, so much of his production is inside the pocket. This offensive line does what they can to keep him clean for the most part. He's not really getting a whole bunch of pressure up the middle. I think that Tyler Biadasz has had a fantastic year.
Yes.
I would argue that this is maybe Tyler Biadasz's best year as an NFL player. As I went back and watched some of his games, we know that he was super duper banged up last year, and that was
Right.
some of the stuff he was dealing with. I think that he's comfortable in this scheme. But yeah, they have some weaknesses across their offensive line. I think their left guard, you can attack him there. 21 pressures on the year, 2 sacks given up. And Brandon Coleman, their left tackle, you can get after him too. But for the most part, they pass protect well, and that allows them to do things because Dak was getting his tail whooped, and Cooper Rush been struggling to, you know.
Yeah, and you look at the offensive line in 2023 for the Commanders, they finished 27th in the NFL. Now they have a top 10 offensive line, and clearly that does add to your run, going to help your run game, and specifically also your quarterback too. But you look at Brian Robinson Jr., he's averaging 4.5 yards per carry in 2024. How much different does he look compared to last year with a much better offensive line?
Just an adequate passing game. The offensive line is better.
Yeah.
But I think that Cliff Kingsbury is playing very much so within his talent and what they have. Obviously, he has a young QB who is learning and still developing, so you have to play within the realm of that and keep him safe. But I mean, Brian Robinson has his 60 yards plus in the last 3 games. He seems like he's starting to kind of get in his flow. But I think a lot of what opens up everything for them is the fact that people are threatened by Jayden Daniels actually being a passing threat. The other quarterbacks weren't like that with the Commanders, so you have to account for him.
Oh yeah,
What you got?
100%. Cliff Kingsbury has this thing that he likes to do. I don't know what the technical term is, but speaking of the passing game being a threat and opening up options for Brian Robinson, it does seem like they have options every now and then in the offense where it's like, okay, if you are going to try to account for the passing game and end up giving them a light box, and they'll run it. If you do vice versa, then they'll pass it. And it seems like it looks like they're able to kind of check into it depending on what they see, and that seems to be working out well. Also, as far as Brian Robinson goes, I would say that it does look like they're doing a good job of using him and Ekler as a tandem, and that's benefiting him as well. A lot of his average yardage is really good for a running back, but it does seem like he's getting a lot of chunk plays that's boosting up that average. Because I just looked at the last few games, but it's like another one of those situations where you have a running back that's got like 0 yards, 1 yard, 3 yard, -2 yards, and then 16. And
Their offensive line, to your point, their offensive line is very much so like that. Is that it's boom or bust with them.
Yes, very
and
much
they're
so.
not and they're not consistent. Like, but in pass pro, they're pretty good. It really is their run blocking where it's like offensive line's funny like that.
But free agency, they picked up 2 guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what made the huge difference.
I think they picked up Tyler Biadasz, and I think that they picked
There's
up.
someone else too.
Left guard and their left tackle. So
Yeah.
it's technically 3.
You
3,
can do that
yeah.
when you got money.
Yeah,
It's funny because
they wanna win.
Dan Quinn in his press conference said he learned a lot about player acquisition from Will McClay and Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Did he say that?
yes.
He learned-
They asked him what he learned during his time with the Cowboys, and he was like, yeah, from Mike McCarthy, I learned a lot about planning for the year and putting a program together. And I had the opportunity to like learn from Will McClay about.
And look at him now. He got
And
a
I'm like,
wing team over there.
All right.
He was
I'm like,
acquiring-
if you say so.
He was acquiring players. Dan Quinn had he had very much so definitely had input in the draft, and a lot of the people they went picked up.
Yes.
And it's not always the norm. Sometimes that's different. So anyway, Brian Robinson.
I like
having a
Ekler
better
a lot
year.
too, though. He's shown that he can make an impact on big plays, and he's got good hands.
You said
and-
Ekler?
Yeah,
He's
I
just,
like
he's
him.
just steady. I
yeah,
think
I think he does a lot.
I was surprised
Versatile.
at how strong he was as a pass blocker, like as a just helping. But that's just because he's a veteran. He probably knows the calls. He understands like what to do and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I don't think their run game's not nothing fancy schmancy.
No,
like we're not
but
gonna
it's better than the Cowboys if you compare.
Clear. Yeah.
Because of the balance and because once again they commit to the run for the most part.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened against the Eagles, but usually they commit to the run, so it makes them look a little bit better, a little bit more productive. And then Ekler, to your point about him being a vet, it just feels like he's gotten like really comfortable with like, you know, making cuts. Like it's like you watch Robinson and it's like he's gotten stronger as a runner, but you don't see him making a lot of huge cutbacks or making guys miss. It's like, you know, if they don't open up for him on the second level, he's not getting there. Yeah. But Ekler seems to actually
Ekler's
have
29
that
years
ability.
old. He's older and he's still being very productive.
He seems to have a little bit better vision. He bounces outside a little bit more. So
Go on the screen game too.
What threat does Jayden Daniels pose? The biggest threat that he poses
to the Cowboys? Is that he's good against the blitz, and that's what the Cowboys have been having to do to get pressure.
Yeah.
And he's accurate, and he's accurate on the run when he. I mean,
he's accurate. He's poised. He's timed. I would say, you know, him being this young and being able to maneuver the pocket the way he can is not the norm. I think that they also too can attack. Now they've been struggling lately, but they can attack every point of the field with him because he can throw the deep ball. He can throw the intermediate ball. He's still getting better at rolling to his right, rolling to his left. That's something that comes with time with some quarterbacks. They have to develop it. But I just think he's also, too, he's very smart with the ball, too. So he's not going to turn the ball over that much. And because of that, your opportunities are limited.
Yeah, his decision making is pretty good for a rookie quarterback.
Absolutely. So it's the fact that he is kind of young. He's kind of old beyond his years in a sense to where he's not turning the ball over. He's not doing rookie-esque stuff as often.
Exactly.
He has his moments.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
But when you like, I'm going up. I know defenses be like, we're going up against a rookie. It's like, yeah, nah, this guy.
Like
it reminds me of Dak. In a way, it reminds me of Dak his first year. And I don't know if you guys remember Dak's first year. He threw like 6 picks. I don't even know if he threw 6. He was protecting the ball to a point to where when teams were going up against him, and he had a good run game.
Yeah.
But teams going up against him, they thinking, okay, I'm trying to bait this rookie. And he's like, I am not giving you guys the ball. I am not giving you a chance.
But
That's
it
kinda how he
also,
plays.
when you have a good run game, you have a good offensive
Yeah, it's-
line.
Of course,
It
all
makes
of
you
it.
play a little
and
bit
the
more
defense.
smarter.
And the defense. The defense, it's
well, he
complementary football.
Yes, he has more confidence.
What is that?
Because of that, and also he doesn't get thrown off. Like you don't really see a lot of situations where it looks like his clock is sped up or he's frantic, even when he is outside of the pocket. And being like continuing to be a passer outside the pocket is something that he's been working on that I think he'll get even better at. But it just seems like even whenever he does have to get out of the pocket, he is still composed. Yeah. He is still looking for those opportunities. So I would say like it's not a tangible characteristic, but just his mindset, the fact that he is able to keep that composure. I do believe when you are a quarterback that operates that way, it trickles down to the rest of the offense, and you can tell that they follow him, that they have faith in him.
That was what I was saying. He's the respect.
And yeah. And he just keeps it together. It's really hard to throw him off his game.
Because he's a leader, even though he's a rookie quarterback. It's funny how you see all the players that they really have a lot of respect for him, his locker room presence, and what he's been able to do at that position. I think that goes a long way.
They're happy over there.
Yeah, and that's what I
They're
think.
happy over
That
there.
Hail Mary game, I mean,
Very happy. Nah, some of the players in locker room, they just talked about how
love
much
him.
like they can tell that those guys believe in him, and it helps when you are a young quarterback.
And
But
having
we
a franchise quarterback like that with
Let's
the
talk about
Commanders,
it.
sorry, I mean that's
yeah,
it's great.
All right,
for
let's take
them.
our first break. We will be breaking down more of Jayden Daniels' game and how he takes care of the football up next in our next segment. You're watching Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Nation, it's time to get the giving season going. Tune in to see country music superstar Lainey Wilson and a special guest performance during the Salvation Army's Red Kettle Kickoff halftime show this Thanksgiving on Fox. Every donation stays in the community to provide help and hope for those in need. So tune in to watch the Cowboys, Giants, and hopefully a dub. I think we can win that game. Sorry. And Lainey Wilson this Thanksgiving and give today at SalvationArmyUSA.org.
What's y'all's Thanksgiving must-haves on y'all's plate? I'm judging y'all too if y'all say something weird.
Yeah.
So I make this Cajun cornbread dressing that I hope to have this year. It all depends on if I have time to make it. That and sweet potato casserole.
Like the traditional or like something different?
No,
my mom makes the best chicken and dumplings.
Okay.
On the side. And
I
love stuffing
never
too.
Had chuck chicken and dumplings.
Really?
Really?
Mac and cheese, yams, and some form of meat. I can't listen. I'm not a turkey human. If I'm gonna eat turkey, it's gonna be like the wing or the leg, and then people be like fighting for it. So I ain't trying to tussle like that. So for me, I mean, my family always fry me a couple pieces of chicken. So
Oh, you do the fried turkeys?
I have never had a fried turkey.
Is that what you do?
Fried turkey.
Because that's what they say is the best.
My family does barbecue.
I haven't had it, but I heard it's the.
Yeah.
What gotta be on your plate?
Fried turkey. You got baked chicken, mac and cheese with some collard greens.
Collard greens. I was about to say that for me too. Collard
and
greens.
some dirty rice and some potato salad. I'm going crazy.
Collard
Every
greens with
Thanksgiving.
gravy.
I don't like
a sweet potato
greens.
pie.
You don't like collard greens? I love it. I put tons of hot sauce and gravy.
I know it's not my spirit.
Oh, I love it.
All right.
Nicole, you and I love collard
like
greens all
my
day long.
greens.
So good. All right. You know who else is so good?
Who?
Jayden Daniels.
We're still on him?
Not wrong.
See what I did there? Oh, my bad. No, you look at the numbers. Since the injury, his injury, Daniels was completing nearly 75% of his passes before the injury. Now he's been held to just 59% since the injury. He's averaging 53.1 rushing yards in the first 7 games, dropped to 27.5 rushing yards for the last 4. You were talking a little bit about his mobility. I think that was you actually, Bonnie Jill. How important is, or how much more important is it for now this defense to get home? Because they've gotten better at getting pressure. They just haven't been able to get home and sack quarterbacks. So how much more important is it for you guys?
Very. It's always important to more than just the pressure, especially with a mobile quarterback. I mean, what he can do, pressure and he takes off. He can, and not just like that he can kill you with his legs and his arm, but he actually is so good on the run when he's thrown on the run and he's efficient, accurate. I'm impressed with this kid. I've liked him for a long time.
Yeah, I agree.
Being a rookie quarterback, he's really impressed me. So with this kid especially, more than just pressure.
What you got?
Similar answer, honestly. I don't think it's more important. I think it's just as important. It's something that they need to work on. I mean, like we keep talking about, like these players, if nothing else, they're being evaluated. So I think this is one of those games where we can really see what these guys are capable of in terms of exactly what we're talking about, getting home. Now, Micah Parsons is not something someone I'm necessarily worried about in that regard. But yeah, I'm trying to avoid saying if they want any hope of winning. But it's true. Yeah. But it's true. Like, if they want to experience success during this game, they have to at least show that there's a threat of that happening. Otherwise, he's just going to be comfortable in that pocket and do what he wants all day. So I think they should at least try to send the message early that that is something
and
that
rattle
they can
him
do.
a little bit, get in his head
and make him think
bit.
about it. Judging from his press conference, I would say Micah Parsons is already on his mind. So there's that.
There we go.
Absolutely.
But if we can make that threat a little bit more real than just ideological, and by all
That's
means,
the whole
let's
season,
make it happen.
But I think you kind of piggybacking off of you though. You need more than just Micah. Like,
Oh yeah, 100%.
absolutely need more than
yeah.
just Micah, because if it's just Micah getting pressures, which he had so much success in getting pressure last week and the weeks before since he's been back, you need another guy on the other side, whether that's Carl Lawson, whether that's Chauncey.
I was about to say Carl Lawson.
You need
I
those
like him.
guys to put some pressure in his face. But no, go ahead.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you didn't shut me off. I was just, I was totally fine. I wanted to hear what you had to say. Well, to answer your question, how important is it this week? I think what's really important is rush contain. And what rush contain is like, yes, you are rushing the passer, but you also too are making sure that you are being attentive to slippage. And he is one of the quarterbacks that does have the ability to slip through these gaps and make you pay outside the pocket, whether that's with his legs or he's running on the move. He's very accurate. He's still working on his accuracy, rolling to his left, rolling to his right. But that's something that the Cowboys have had trouble with for a very long time. And quite honestly, that's something that the I almost called them something else. The Commanders defense struggles with, because these are two, like, I understand that the Cowboys' defensive line is excited because they're starting to get pressure. They're starting to see that they can get pressure. However, you can't lose discipline in your gaps. You can't lose discipline and not set your feet and go make the tackle. You still got to stack and shed. You still got to do what you need to do. So it's like, it's not an easy thing to do, especially when you are like trying to get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
But and that's why they talk about why mobile quarterbacks are so difficult, because they can slip right behind you. And if your defense is playing man, baby, it's an open field.
Yeah.
So I will say it is important, but it's also very important for them to make sure that they keep integrity of their rush lanes and that they're sound from that side of things, and they tackle well as well.
I do think that's even more important, especially
point.
considering how, it's kind of expected for this to be a breakout game for Brian Robinson. And he always attacks the middle. Even when they have motion and try to make you think he's going to do something else, he goes up the middle. And just like what our interior has been looking like recently, I definitely expect them to take as much advantage of that as possible. And so I really want them to get it together in that area. Otherwise, it's going to be a long day, a long and tough day, both between Jayden Daniels and between Robinson. And maybe even Ekler. He likes to go to the outside more.
It's the passing
I said
with
shoot,
him.
shoot. Maybe even Ekler. I said it real fast. Maybe even Ekler, though. But like he goes to the outside sometimes, but he's even one who, like, if the opportunity is there, he'll go up the middle. So
I hate to talk about evaluations right now with week 12. You had touched on it a little bit though, so I gotta go there. Who for this matchup or for this game, who on the defensive side of the ball do you feel like has something more to prove as far as being evaluated at this point of the season?
More to prove.
More to prove.
Others-
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
I
Aisha.
hate to say it.
go.
Donovan
I
Wilson.
knew you was about to say that.
I think Donovan Wilson fit into Dan Quinn's system like a glove. He's been placed into this system with Mike Zimmer that requires him to cover hash to hash, to have to read and those things. This gentleman has always played better close to the line of scrimmage, but not every system is going to allow him to do that. I think it is important for him to show that versatility moving forward, because ain't no telling. Like I said, like Dan Quinn's system is different, like where he always has that guy, always has a strong safety. He values strong safety, totally different. So it's like, I don't know what's going to happen with that side of things, but he has underperformed in a sense, and I hate to say it because he's one of my favorite players. He has underperformed this year and also last year. He dealt with a calf, if I'm not mistaken. Took him some time to kind of get back in the rhythm of things until maybe mid-season last year, and we just have not seen that game-wrecking, like, in the box. You never see him coming. He's lighting people up. He sets the tone. We haven't seen – now, last week – He did show a few
And
flashes.
the week before.
Yes, he did show a few flashes, but we're looking for that consistency from him because he's such a foundational part of their run-stopping ability. So for me, it's going to be him. I need him to continue to build off of what you just said, Nicole. He showed some flashes last week and those things. Can he continue to do that for the rest of the year?
And you look at a guy like Wanye, who's when he does get moments,
he's barking.
He's barking.
Big dog.
And his Dono's contract's up in 2026, and Wanye's is up in 2025. So I mean, again, everything depends on the coaching staff next year. But no, I definitely agree.
That's
with
Amaya's
that
Donovan as well.
I think there's almost nobody on the defense who doesn't have something they could show.
Absolutely.
I agree that Dono is probably the one who sticks out the most. But you could point to anybody and be like, yeah, we'd like to see you do more. Like even Osa earlier in the season talked about needing to win more of his one-on-ones. Demo, who's one of my favorite players on the Cowboys defense to watch, even he will overshoot sometimes. Or occasionally miss a tackle just because I don't know what's going on. Sometimes it looks like he's going so fast he can't see where he's going.
He pounces on people. He needs to set his feet.
Yeah, and I can see the Commanders honestly taking advantage of that. So if he can show that he can like focus and have a little bit better anticipation to actually get to the target he's trying to get to, like even that would be an improvement.
But every game he's gotten better.
He has. Micah Parsons is one of the ones who needs to get home more. He's doing impeccable when it comes to pressures. Like, he's still leading the team in pressures, and he missed 4 games. But he's also not getting home. But they also, like, questionable actions against Micah is how I'm going to put that.
I can't believe it. I wonder, I would like to ask Mike McCarthy, or someone to ask Mike McCarthy, like, some of this stuff is, like, nasty. When you going back and watching film, like, how they treat him and what they're able to get away with.
I can't even be mad at him for complaining to the refs.
Like this has been,
and I'm sure that every defensive player, like I've heard Browns fans talk about it with Myles Garrett. I've heard we hear this across the league, and it's already so hard for defense. Man, I understand you don't want it to slow down the flow of the game, but give them the call if that's within the rules. I mean, he was held. A guy had him in here last week. I'm like, are we just? Don't give them the LeBron treatment, like.
I think the way the rules are written might be part of the problem.
Well, it's also the rip move and that type of stuff. But Micah has a toolbox.
It's not only the rip move, but it's like it's like if they don't stop, they're not really like keying in on it. So it's like Micah will be held, but he's still moving in the direction he's trying to go to, right? And then there's literally a line in the rule book that says if the official doesn't see it, it's not a penalty. So, literally, it's in there. I'll pull it up during the break. I'll show it to you. It says that.
Don't rattle me.
Aisha, you know what I'm going to ask you? Kalen Carson. I know we haven't seen a ton of him, but what are your thoughts about him? Because I
think that he came into a system that requires him to do things that he hasn't done yet, and the pass rush has not been good all year. That's like one of the best things you can do for a rookie corner. And then obviously too, people just have attacked him. Like they've really gone at him, and there's nothing, and there's no way to counter that really because you don't have pass rush. So it's just a bad year to be a rook.
Yeah.
It is in a sense, like especially from the cornerback position, with how depleted your front seven has been. It's just a bad year to be a rook. We talked about it. Nicole said she's talked to him in the locker room. Jazz has talked to him in the locker room. He's a very confident kid.
He is very.
When I evaluated him, I didn't see him struggling like he has struggled, but he also too, I think the injury has affected him as well, because this is a guy that likes to press, that likes to get up into you. What can you do if you can't extend like that? And then the tackling is something he does well. He has not tackled well either, so I want him to get healthy before I
confidence, right?
A shoulder injury will affect your ability to run.
Yeah, because you can't move it.
You can't move it.
Exactly.
Can't move it.
I'm so glad that you said that.
Yeah, it affects literally everything he has to do. And while he's back, like I wouldn't be surprised if he feels some discomfort on occasion.
No, you're right. I think so. I just want him to get healthy. He has had injury. He was honest with me. He's had injury bugs through his career. So this is not
shoulder before.
No, I think he told me it was another one. It was something else. He's had quite a few injuries, like in his collegiate career. He's been able to bounce back for them, but
he's a confident kid.
He'll be all right. Yeah. He'll be all right. His safeties ain't helped him either.
I feel bad for that kid.
Let's talk about it.
Talk Thursday.
Jesus. Let's talk about it. Did you give us your person?
Yeah, what's your person? Oh, she said Donovan too.
I said Donovan as well, but then I was curious about Kalen.
Who's a person on this defense that's would you say so far proven to be safe, aside from Micah Parsons?
And aside from Demo?
Because
who doesn't love
Overshown,
Demo?
Yeah.
I would say Maris. You know, his football IQ gets talked about a lot, and he's shown that he's scrappy. He's a fighter. You know, obviously, same situation. He's a rookie, so him being a linebacker, he's been impacted by what's going on with the defensive front. But I would say he's shown a lot of signs of being able to be a future Mike for the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah. So he's someone I see being around for a while.
What was the question again?
Who would you say is safe on this defense?
Kendricks. I would say Eric Kendricks.
For
You
now,
think so?
Kendricks is only
To
on a
win.
1-year deal.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't understand the question. I thought you were talking safe. I thought you were talking about as in who's like playing right now and how they're playing.
Yeah, but also like thinking about
Future.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who you got?
Oh, because I was who?
might be the
I
only
would say
person I
Marshawn
think so.
Nealon is safe. What he did in those first few games, y'all, he was playing some grown man football.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when I say grown man football, like he jumped off the tape, the run stopping ability. I don't think people like. He's a DN. He's a nugget. He's not even in his grown man body, and he was tossing some of these grown ass offensive linemen, and just the hand technique and just how sound he is. And they drafted him to be a run defender, but that pass rush ability he started showing before this MCL, and that explosiveness off the line and his hand usage, I was excited about it. I think that they're still excited about him, and he's another guy that I'm just like. Just get yourself back in a groove. Don't overwork yourself. Make sure you preserve yourself because they're going to need you next season. And I think he could really be – I mean, we were hearing his name during the games. Like, Marshawn Nealon, Marshawn Nealon. And, he literally was a kid. I sat in that chair during draft season. I said, I don't want to have to see this kid 2 times a year. Yeah. Well, I don't want to see him go to a Philly. I don't want to see him go to the Commanders. So I'm excited for his future.
I'm going to go Wanye Thomas. And because we talk about,
I totally I'm tripping. Nah, that's a good one too.
I'm giving Wanye Thomas
It's a good
because
one.
we always talk about how a player coming in to be able to get more opportunities, and whether you're playing offense or defense, you got to go through special teams, and he's become one of Fossil's. I'm not gonna say favorites. I'm gonna go favorites. I'm gonna go favorites because I mean he even talked about it with the fake punt. Like he, along with a couple of others on that special teams group, he has the okay to call off calls and make those decisions. And the way that Fossils put so much trust in him, and Turpin, and all those other guys, I think that is what helped him save his job. Granted, because this is the end of his contract in 2025. But defensively, I mean, when he comes in, he's making plays. He's getting pass breakups. When he comes and plays close to the line of scrimmage, like he's active in the run game, and that's something that we were just talking about with Donovan Wilson, who struggled this year. And I mean, yeah, Wanya's a guy who I feel is safe.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know I can't say overshown. I love this kid. I love everything he's doing. I like how he's improving every year. I see him being a big future star. I mean, just everything he's done.
Wait, we
the
said
pressure,
no
the
overshown.
energy.
Did you say
I
Overshown?
can't-
No, you said no
We
Micah,
said
and
aside
I
from
was
Micah,
like,
and we said no Overshown.
I said it because I was like, to me, it's obvious.
What's
But
the
go
obvious?
ahead.
Go ahead.
I know.
Let's talk
It's
about
obvious. I
Overshown.
just like his energy, what he's done for the
Give him his
defense and
flowers.
everything he's done. I get excited watching him.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
I think the defense, I think he gets them rolling. So
All right.
I know he's obvious, but I really like him. I love watching him.
All right, let's go ahead and take our second break. You're watching Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. We'll be right back.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
Celebrate the holiday season at AT&T Stadium. Get a tour of the home of the Dallas Cowboys, plus your photo with Santa and Mrs. Claus. From December 10th through the 14th, limited inventory is available. Secure your tickets today at attstadium.com/tours.
Go ahead, get your tour on. Go ahead, do all that. All right, Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy mentioning he regrets not playing Trey Lance at the end of the game against the Texans. Do y'all still have faith in Cooper Rush?
Cooper Rush is not doing well with this offensive line, so it's hard to based on what we've seen.
Yeah.
So
What we have faith in, though? What you asked me?
Yeah.
I got faith in, like his ability.
That's a good question, honestly.
Do y'all have faith that because they had said that Cooper Rush is the best chance for them to have
win. They keep
success
saying
and
that,
to
yeah.
have to win games? Do y'all have faith that he is still the quarterback, fix your face, to win games for the Dallas Cowboys?
Are you talking about for this weekend?
Honestly, no.
General.
Oh, in general.
Yeah.
No.
No, I don't. And it's not that I don't think he's better.
Yeah.
But it's like I also feel like we haven't seen enough of Trey Lance to know for sure. And we're at a point where I think I don't want to say we've earned like the fans like or media has earned something, but we're at a point where I think putting Trey Lance in more often is justified. In that same press conference you're talking about, Mike McCarthy talked about them having packages for Trey Lance for this week, which is great, but I want to see more than a package. I want to see him get a couple of series to actually lead the offense, from the time they get on the field to however it ends. And based on what we see there, that'll let me know if Cooper Rush truly is the best choice. Because honestly, how do we even know? Like Cooper Rush is dealing with
I don't care what nobody say. We don't know.
We don't exactly. It's a different O-line than before. It's a different run game than before. It's a different defense than before. All the things that helped him find success based on what they're going back in their memory that's telling them, oh, Cooper Rush can lead this offense. All that stuff is different. All of it has changed, and it hasn't necessarily changed for the better. So it's like my question is like, what are they basing it on? That's a question I'd like to ask them if it was appropriate. So no, I don't have faith. I think we're at a point where it makes sense to put the other QB in, and if they're right, they're right. But I don't think there's enough evidence to say it.
Yeah, and if you're still interested in Trey Lance going into next season, let's see what he's got. And you got to see what he's got. And I don't want to put him up against the Panthers. I want to see him right now with a really good team and see how he plays and see what his experience. We need to see him develop. And the Cooper Rush being a pocket passer, it's not going to work with our O-line. We got to have someone who's a little bit more mobile. We know that Trey is mobile. So I'd like to see what he's got, and I like to see him start. That's just my opinion.
And kind of going back to what you're saying, if you want to see what he has for next year,
Yeah.
you still want to see if you have the depth at the quarterback position.
Yes,
but not against a weak team, right? That's what I want to see him now.
Exactly.
Just my opinion.
The narrative has been. Oh,
Go ahead. It's fine.
The narrative this whole time has been like, oh, Cooper Rush is more accurate and he manages the offense better. And I'm just like, neither one of those things is coming into play to help this team or even make it look like they're putting up a fight.
Yeah.
So as far as I'm concerned, all of that talk is null and void.
Well, and I think a lot of people are basing the fact that the Cowboys feel how they feel about Cooper Rush being on the field and that he is the starter over Trey Lance is indicative of Trey Lance's ability or what the Cowboys see him as or what they see him as a scout as they scout him. And I'm not sure about that because I think that that's very contradictory to the point that we talk about as far as NFL practices and what they really look like. They like these practices aren't super duper. I mean, they can be intense in spots, but you're not getting a game simulation.
No.
You're
They're not even
No,
having
not at
another
all.
full padded practice until Bengals week.
No,
Exactly.
so for people to be like, oh, well, they're seeing him in practice, they know him, whatever the case may be, we're not going to know until the kid lines up multiple plays and plays.
Yes,
and
and
I
he
will
needs
say,
that.
well, where this offensive line, let me tell you something.
Here she goes.
Let me tell you something. 73. If Tyler Smith don't suit up this week,
you
better put the quarterback that can run around out there.
Thank you.
With Deron Payne and Zaire Newton back there and all this. Heck nah. They have a legit
I love the way she delivered
defensive
that.
line.
Yeah.
They got guys that can give it to you. I was looking at who is Lavu?
Stop.
Lavu. I guess like the crowd says like love you.
Yes,
it's really cute.
Yeah.
But
Lavu is
this
new.
guy is a player. Like this guy can come from the linebacker position. He can rush the passer. He plays the run well. They have put together a nice little conglomerate of guys on that defensive line, and I'm like,
And let me tell you,
I used to with the
Trey
SAT
Saints.
words.
Can we talk
Trey
about Dorrance
Saints
too?
Yes, Dorrance as well, and he dealt with the injury
Dorrance,
earlier this
Dante.
season, but he's has 3 sacks on the season. Dante Fowler 8.5. Frankie Lavu. I want to see how you actually say it because I'm sure it's pronounced a certain way. But
No, I'm pretty sure it's Lavu.
Is it
I've been
French?
watching Commanders
he
podcast all
has
week.
7 sacks on the year. They use Bobby Wagner and him up the A gap and B gap. Listen, I'm stressed. Because this defensive line is one of the better ones you've seen, but particularly on the interior, you got a double team to run.
Yeah.
I think Mike McCarthy, even in the game where he did put Trey Lance in, I thought he waited way too long.
Way too long.
And pulling him in and out.
But it was on.
can't
It
do
was
that.
on.
Yeah,
Actually, it was
no.
on accident. No, I think that they only did it because Christy confirmed to us that Cooper Rush had a
that's
little
a
bit of a
neck
neck
strain.
injury.
That's right.
He went out for that. That was the only reason why he came in. He did not come in because they planned on it. He came in because
Which I
oops,
don't understand.
Cooper Rush got an owie right now. I'm telling y'all,
My
let
theory
the guy run.
is that they don't want Trey Lance in for whatever reason, whether you believe
They
it's
trade a
legitimate or
4th round
not.
pick for him. Let's
But
see what he can
they
do.
don't- $5 million backup. Come on.
Sorry, come on.
But my theory is that until they are literally mathematically eliminated, they're not going to put him in. And
To develop him.
I have underlying ideas about that I'm not going to go into, but that's my idea that's what they're waiting on.
I see you, sister. I'm picking up
Yeah,
what
no,
you're
you're
putting
right.
down.
On that
But-
note, this has been great. Yes, we will end on that note. You have been watching Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. We'll be back here tomorrow at 3 p.m.
Bye.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!